This is very exciting. Samad and my newest best friend, Troy. I'm here in Pittsburgh for my very first time to do some marketing, and we're going to have actually a program. We're going to start right now, and Samad's going to key it in called Marketing from the Booth. But thank you guys very much for having us here. First time that Podcast Village has done audio and video podcasting from anywhere in Pennsylvania. So this is very exciting. And I'll pass the microphone over to you, and we'll go around the table. I'm Charlie Burney from Podcast Village, and I'll pass it over to Samad.
Thanks, Charlie. And hopefully some of you guys actually remember Samad from Inside and Digital, but wanted to bring everyone out. Troy is actually a local from Pittsburgh. We now have an office. We being Inside and Digital has an office in Pittsburgh, and we really wanted to, basically get a little bit more homey, get to know our new office, and I thought this was the best way of really looking at it. It's kind of off the cuff, but sure, why not? Let's just start a new podcast and a new video series and talk about our passion, right? What we love, which is marketing in general. So our new office space at Industrious Office in PPG Place, which is really cool because I always think of Batman whenever I think of it, but has
I didn't
these.
know what you were talking about until you explained it, because of course it's
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah, and it's Batman on the corner here, but
You guys should have been here for the actual filming. It was
really?
amazing.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Awesome.
All the buzz throughout the entire city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets me going, hey, I'm in that office space that Batman was on top of the corner with, but we used that. We really want to just essentially get to know our new home, our second home. We're out of Gaithersburg, but we really are looking to really take advantage of our new office space here at Industrious Office, and they have these really cool little booths. So off the cuff, our new name is Marketing from the Booth. Inside and Digital does, you guys kind of probably already know a little bit, but we kind of focus on e-commerce mostly, but we're doing e-commerce marketing. How do we get more people to your business, to your website?
How do you engage?
Conversion, for sure. Yeah, conversions, attracting people. How do we go in the long haul, and after they even come for the first time, how do we keep them buying from us, right? And it's a customer journey. So hopefully this is a journey that we can keep going with.
Well, and you speak of e-commerce and trying to drive traffic, and the fact is, I own a small advertising and marketing agency right on the North Shore, and the fact is, it's all connected. If it's not one element, it's another, and they all have to speak to each other. And that's actually why I started working with you and Enum and the whole crew over there, is because of what you guys can do. And actually, I'm really
Connectivity.
Exactly, yeah. And it's funny that you guys actually picked this building to be here, because I actually used to do quite a bit of work with PPG, which was only a couple floors down from here. Mm-hmm. And I used to love to come up and just look at the windows and look out and just see it.
Well, it's
and
hard not to like that view. That's amazing. I mean, we think Washington, D.C. has pretty good views, and it does.
Yeah.
These are spectacular. They're really fun. Yeah.
And they don't
DC
have
has
a
no tall buildings, so it's nice to have
10
a tall
stories.
building.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they don't have a six-time Super Bowl championship team, as well as also
Try
a
to
four-time.
be nice now. Try to be nice.
Hey.
That hurts a lot.
Sorry, yeah, I'm a Pittsburgher through and through.
Yeah. So is that the way you say it? Pittsburgher?
That's the way I say it. Yeah.
I wondered.
As opposed to a Yinzer.
Right. How do they call
people
themselves?
call
Are they
themselves-
Pittsburghers? No.
Pittsburghians?
Possibly.
You might have to Google that.
Yeah. You'll hear a lot of yins.
Yins?
Yins.
Yins.
That's exactly right. Yins.
What's a yin?
That's Pittsburghese.
There you go.
Just like
Baltimoreans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yins. That's my new word. Like it's lit. No.
Yeah, I've grown up in this city. I've actually born and raised not more than 10 minutes away from here, and I just live and breathe this city. I grew up with the business. It was started in '84, so my father started the agency, and I don't know anything else but marketing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And I've had-
So, what's the most creative and iconic Pittsburgh marketing campaign?
Ooh, great question.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And then,
actually.
yeah.
There's two that come to mind really, really fast.
It's like you do it in Baltimore, right? So I want to know what you're going to say.
A few years back, we had the opportunity to actually work with the Port Authority on their Port Authority Gold. And we did a number of different graphic pieces, the logo, and really assisted the Port Authority with that gold program. That was a very iconic program as well. And then I'll take it even one step further. Being that we're in PPG, we actually were part of a conglomerate of people actually working on the Drippy P logo. And
Gosh.
that was, again, years ago. But just a lot of cool things like that.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
and we've done a lot of really neat things, but a lot of
Yep.
people wouldn't necessarily know them.
Right.
Those are just the most iconic ones that people would know.
Right. For me, again, being an outsider from Pittsburgh, but I want to make this really, get to know it, get accustomed with it. But the thing that really sticks with me from Pittsburgh is the terrible towel. I'm not sure why, but that's what I think of when I think of Pittsburgh. That and plus Heinz ketchup. But
Yeah.
those are the two effective brands that I think Pittsburgh has lent to everyone, or at least ketchup has. But maybe the terrible towel is actually very localized to Pittsburgh here, because no one else is doing that.
Funny story, actually. We used to do a lot of work with Heinz. My father did, and this was before I even started with the agency. And at that point in time, my dad was doing a few ads and freestanding inserts using a dancing ketchup bottle as a graphic.
Nice.
I know you know it.
Yes.
And so the teacher at my school asked, "So what do your parents do on the first day?" And what did I say? I said, "My daddy makes dancing ketchup bottles." And she looked at me like I had 3 heads.
Yeah. She was about ready to write a note to your parents, like, your son's talking
show
about it.
title. My daddy makes dancing ketchup bottles.
But now the funny thing about it was that they had a parent conference a few weeks later.
Yep.
And so my mother came in. My father was working.
Right.
And so the teacher actually asked my mother, "So what does your husband do?" And she jokingly said, "He makes dancing ketchup bottles."
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Teacher's like,
She's like, they're both nuts.
exactly. You have to be a little nuts to be in this industry.
yeah.
And have you worked in it since the mid-'80s?
Me personally, no. I started right out of college. I went to Penn State,
Oh, okay.
so
Sorry.
don't hold that against
You
me.
said that anymore. I was just thinking, that
he-
was your dad.
That was my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been doing it now since '02. And my sister and I, we own and run the agency now. We're actually technically a woman-owned business, and I tell everybody that without her, I'd be lost, because she really is the business end of things, and I'm the fun person.
The fun-flowing, creative genius behind it all.
I wouldn't go with genius.
But I have to ask a leading question. Is this your first podcast interview?
Actually, yeah, it is.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Because we're, in terms of connectivity and the work we do with Samad, podcasting, audio, and here, I'll try and do this real quick. Audio and video is really part of all of our marketing when we talk marketing. It's just one really vital piece of it. So,
Well, and to that point, I look back at where the agency was in '84 and through the '80s and even '90s.
things have changed so dramatically.
Exactly. And my father still comes into the office, and
Good.
he'll look at what we're doing, just to kind of see what we're up to,
Yep.
and he'll say, "What the heck are you guys up to?"
Yeah.
He doesn't understand this stuff.
Right.
He doesn't mean to. It's just it's not what marketing used to be.
Right.
And now we're educating him, and he is getting better with it, so he understands it now. But the funny thing about it is that you just have to know that most marketing is done online anymore.
Yeah.
The amount of print
It's
work that
all
we did
interconnected. Yeah.
is probably down to 10%
Yeah.
from where we were
Yeah.
5-10 years ago.
It's interesting because I have a friend who's a father and son marketing agency, EJ White Partners in Northern Virginia, and he doesn't even recognize the way they do things. Like, we used to have to draw things.
Yeah.
Nobody draws anything, with a pencil anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's all different. And he often doesn't recognize things. And he'll talk about machines they used to use that nobody even knows what those are anymore because they're irrelevant now. But
Of course.
it's fascinating to see a company passed on. And it can
Yeah,
be
for
passed
sure.
on vitally,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, knock on wood, we have had sustainable growth over the past 8 years now. I'm sorry. Nice little anywhere from 8 to 10% increases every year, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
It's been great.
That is fantastic. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so like and everyone here is thinking about, how they're going to effectively help their clients, which, we're all essentially looking to do. We're in it for our clients. We might love, we might hate them sometimes, but we love them because they're obviously really a big part of what we're trying to do here. So you got to be a people person,
Right.
but you also have to understand, I guess, really the client's needs, right? So I think when you look at it from, for us, we're hitting e-commerce, but we're also doing health, which Troy, I know you work with us on that as well. There's just so many different moving pieces that need to be part of any kind of strategy. One strategy cannot be like, all right, we're just going to do direct mail only.
Well, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And Samad knows we deal with that often. People think, well, I'll do, in my case, Troy, people will say, I'll do a podcast, and that's all I have to do. And I'm like, why would you think that? So, but I'm oversimplifying, but that happens to me almost every day.
Right. I mean, what I'm telling all of my clients now, because I like the whole story part of things, right? Like all the new lifestyle brands.
Yeah.
These new
Are telling a
lifestyle
story.
brands, right?
Yeah.
They're all telling a story. If they don't have a story, then we can go to Costco or Walmart and get the knockoff, the generic
knockoff.
brand. Why not?
The non-name.
So you need to tell a story when you're
Yeah.
trying to sell online, where literally you have competitors after competitors of the same thing. It could be coffee, it could be whatever. And
Well, that's why
right.
Harry's has a story. It's a short story.
Yep.
Two guys bought a factory.
Yep.
It's a good story.
Right.
All positive. So
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
One of the hashtags that we've developed for Podcast Village is hashtag what stories do you want to tell, just to try to get people think about storytelling again.
Yep.
I try to move the conversation away from the P word, because people are, well, what is a podcast? I don't know what it's telling stories, which we've been doing since we drew pictures on cave walls. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are
stories.
intrigued by
So
stories.
I key on the story word, not the P word, because I'm explaining P all the time.
Right.
What I find interesting to ask you two guys from marketing point of view, I'm still explaining podcast, but nobody has to explain the word brand. And we didn't talk about brand 30 years ago. We just talked about our company and our marketing and our promotions. Now everybody gets brand. Even my father understands branding, but we're still explaining podcasting. And it's part of the same thing. So
Well, I also look at that as being just another component of the whole brand marketing. And
absolutely.
I'm a firm advocate of consistent brand marketing across all mediums.
Right.
As soon as you start doing one area different, one area not,
Yeah.
you're going to confuse the people out there. And trying to explain that sometimes to clients can be difficult.
And that's the job.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
For
that
sure.
communication part is
Yeah.
more important.
And all your pieces have to be branded the right way. They obviously have to have an objective, right? I mean, in our case, if you're not having, for the interconnectivity, your Facebook ad could be connected with Google. So when someone essentially is going to your website, Facebook's going to know because of cookies. So that ad better be branded with your logo on either on
Now
Google
you're right.
display or on Facebook on your ad there. The landing page needs to have it. Basically, there needs to be an objective for anything that you're doing, which
Yeah.
is, interestingly enough, everything's interconnected now.
And I'm glad you brought up objective, because objective-driven marketing is something that it's very hard for people to have to see anymore, because people get on this subject of, okay, this is cool, we should try to do this, we should do that.
Right.
They see what people are doing and they see it may work for them, but it may not work for that particular industry. You really have to look at it from the audience level, as well as what are you trying to get out of it. I'll never forget. I have basically put my entire career with working with small to medium-sized companies. I've been lucky to work with some larger companies, of course.
Yep.
But I wasn't more than 6 months into the business, and I sat down with at a conference table with 10 gentlemen who all wanted to spend 10 grand on a high-end sales brochure about their company. And I asked them two questions: who are you targeting and why?
Yep.
Okay.
I walked out an hour and a half later with them with not having the project because it wasn't what they needed, and so.
But you help them focus on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to focus your campaign. Everyone's like, oh yeah, like I want
I'd love to
to.
say you $10,000 brochure, but you don't need it.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. And they appreciated that.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at now with
Not
the.
everybody does that.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
They'll still do it, but no, we don't want to do that. We want to have an objective.
Right.
Otherwise, what's going to happen is the client's going to come back and say, hey, we didn't get the result out of it. And
you'll lose the
we're
client
the
ultimately.
marketers.
Yeah.
We're not really there to do the sale part. We're here for the marketing part, but we need to make sure that we're giving the right strategy. Yeah.
And I hate to use the phrase or the subject matter, but the millennials. I mean, we are talking about online marketing,
Yep.
and the millennials are the ones who really have been doing the most of that.
They're immersed in it. Yeah.
They're exactly. They
Right.
live it. They breathe it.
Yep.
So
And
going
that will not change as they get older.
no, it'll only get more.
It's literally that's it. There's no going back.
I have two 17-year-olds. They don't know the old way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have no idea how to buy things the old way.
Right.
exactly.
And why would they? Why would they want to change? They're very comfortable buying things out of their phone.
Yeah. And yet I'm the complete opposite way. Although I'm 37, I want to touch it, I want to feel it before I buy it. But I'm still, as a marketeer, it's all connected and it all has to be working together. And we're in a very wonderful stage of marketing right now because it's always changing. And
It's
You
thrilling.
got to be on your feet.
Yeah.
You have to be on your feet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been
Awesome.
fun.
Troy,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
thank you, Charlie. And definitely thank you, Samad.
Yeah, no, this has been great. So we're looking to keep
Start of our
going.
series.
Yeah, this is the start of our series. We'll keep bringing on different topics, all interconnected, all about marketing. So definitely tune in, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.